What's up, guys? Shane here from Long Range Precision of PA. I want to do a quick after-season review on the knockoff Atlas Bipod. I ended up picking this up, I think on eBay there, back in August. I wanted to run it through its paces, see how it held up. Very mixed reviews on this thing. So I threw it on the rifle, finished out the PRS season with it, and do a quick review on it. So come on over, we'll check this thing out. Alright guys, this is it. This is the cheapo Chinese knockoff version of the quality Atlas Bipod. As you can tell, it's spitting image. The only difference pretty much noticeably from the outside is it's lacking the actual Atlas insignia on the front of the main body here. This model came with the quick detach Picatinny adapter on it. Had to grease it up. It was pretty rough when I first got it. Yeah, like I said, it comes with a standard Picatinny setup there. I think this was a 6 to 9 inch model. Adjustable legs. At first they were super smooth, but they tend to get grit in them pretty easily, which I didn't like. It ended up being a real pain in the ass during matches because it really killed time. Both sides the same. Fully adjusted out. I think it's at 9 inches. This model has the detent here at the bottom of the legs. So I can focus. There we go. Has a detent on the bottom of the legs. So I imagine you could probably change these out, and it's probably the same spec as an actual Atlas Bipod if you wanted to run the spiked feet or whatever. These just come with these cheap little rubber caps that literally came off during almost every match, and somehow I managed to go back and find them. But yeah, they're not on there very well. Got your normal setup here as far as your detent for adjusting your angles. Fully closed, 45, 90, so on and so forth. I did have lots of issues this year. If you can tell there, this detent is held on the inside here. There's actually a socket head cap screw. Sorry for the noise there, it's the furnace. But I had issues with this screw backing out. Even after I Loctited it with blue Loctite, the medium strength, still had issues with it coming out, so I had to switch over to red. And after the last match, it was actually coming loose. As well as the main fastener here that holds the legs to the main body of the bipod. That has a thin, probably 32nd of an inch brass washer on each side. These did come loose as well. You almost had to adjust these to a certain torque because they ended up being too loose or too tight. Now I had this part earlier, so it's actually just about right now. But yeah, I had issues with this coming loose. The biggest pain in the ass issue I had with this bipod is this main adjustment knob here in the bottom for your tilting and your panning. It would not stay tight, and it would not stay at a friction adjustment that would actually leave it, usable throughout the match. Every time I seemed to pull my rifle up, tilt the rifle up, it would kick sideways on me. So that was a definite pain in the ass. Now let me pull this apart here real quick. I'll show you what other issue I had on this particular Chinese-made bipod. Alright, main adjustment nut came off. You have your top part here, main body section, normal spring inside, cup here. It's like a ball and cup setup for your pivot. I don't know if you can tell there if it's going to focus. See all the marring in there? That really caused issues. Now, the issue I was having was this was actually bottoming out when it was tight against the bottom of the adapter here. See if I can get that to focus. There we go. Now there's supposed to be a shoulder around there, and as you can see, it's pretty much completely worn off. So when you're trying to pan or tilt with it, it was very rough. Even after, this thing was, I kept this thing greased the entire time I had, and it still did this. I didn't run this dry at all. Even with grease in there, it still wore that shoulder down. So it definitely caused issues. What I had to do is I ended up having to put a washer on the bottom side of this cup here, and then throw everything back together with the factory spring and everything, just to get the clearance, so that this adapter, when tightened down, you actually had, if you can see it here, you actually had some clearance in there. That way, when you loosened up on the adjustment knob a little bit to get your tilt or your pan, that definitely didn't hold up at all. I was I shouldn't say I was disappointed, because I knew what this thing was coming into it, being with, you know, a $48 knockoff. But yeah, that wore out quick, so I would not recommend this bipod for any type of competition use. I definitely had a lot of issues with it this year, mainly with these fasteners here coming loose, both of them. The detent for the angle adjustment, as well as the main fastener for the body, those came loose on both sides after every single match, after every range day. And I'm running a 6.5 Creedmoor, so there's not a lot of vibration harmonics there compared to like some bigger bore rifles, and they still came loose. They'd probably come loose on a 22 long rifle, to be honest. And then this issue here with this wearing down that shoulder and causing pan and tilt issues, that was a real pain in the ass. The only thing that really held up on it was the after greased and getting wore in, this quick disconnect adapter here. It got real smooth. I constantly had issues, like I said, with getting grit and dirt and sand and whatever on here. There's little detent balls there, as you can see. Get so much grit in there, you can actually hear it now. Still dirt and sand in there. A couple of my buddies are on the actual legit Atlas bipods. They ran super smooth all season. They didn't have any issues with them whatsoever. I know, like I said, this was a cheap Chinese knockoff, and it's not what you want for competition use. I wouldn't really recommend this for anybody unless they're just throwing this on like a rifle that's just going to see, mainly prone long range shooting. I mean, if you're going to be in a situation or running a competition where you're going to be deploying your bipod like pretty much during every single stage, I would not recommend this bipod. I would definitely highly recommend spending the money and buying a actual quality built Atlas bipod. Like my buddies say, you got to buy once, cry once, but in the end, it's all worth it. So yeah, I'm not gonna name the website where I purchased from. It might have been eBay, or might have been one of those websites that sells just Chinese knockoff crap. But yeah, if you're just using it for plinking on a 22, not deploying the bipod a lot, I could see buying this. But for competition use, spend the money. Use your money wisely. Spend it on a actual Atlas bipod, because this thing is it's not what you want. It's not cut out for competition use. It's not cut out for heavy abuse. I mean, it's what it is. It's a cheap knockoff. Stick with Atlas, people. Spend the money, buy quality.